Good morning, Hologram Family, aka YouTubians. So I'm doing this black and white video to talk about nightmares. Most of my videos, if they're in black and white, they're either going to be serious, an introduction to something, or me talking about spooky things. This video in particular actually is a nightmare I had about 5 years ago, and it is still very vivid to me in my head. And if I had enough time and utensils and stuff, I could recreate a very detailed painting or flip book of what this dream looked like to me. I have no idea if there's any meaning behind it, or if anyone, wants to percept in the comments below what they think my dream was about, but I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay, so here we go. Here's my creepy ass dream that has been haunting me for 5 years. If you're from the Duluth, Minnesota area, you will know that towards the Gary, Minnesota area, as like coming from Lake Superior, there's these little island chunks. The nightmare goes like this. Me and my mom and my dad are in his boat, and it's a pretty big boat. I don't know what happened to it after the divorce, like a couple years back, but it was like a 2-story boat, and there's like the 2 seats in the downstairs and the table area. So we're standing on the back and we're running out of gas, and we see these little islands in the lake. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing Where the Wild Things Are like t-shirt. I looked like in my dream I could have been 13 or 14 years old, and it was like, the main cover of the book where, Max, I think it's Max, it's been a long time since I've read the book, they're swinging across the trees. Anyways, my shorts have big black buttons and black and white, kind of like, almost like a checkered plaid print, but it's black and white and they're pretty short. I don't remember what my mom and dad were wearing, but I remember them saying in the dream, "Oh, I see a top of a house over there on that island. We should go ask them for gas since we're running out and we're kind of farther away from shore." As we get closer to the island, the shore of the island, we start seeing little red bobbing balloons in the water kind of floating. Some were like a burgundy red and some were purple, but they were like bobbing and floating, and there were hundreds of them, all kind of along the shoreline of like little balloons, So in my head I thought, like, what's that about? What are these balloons doing here? When we reached the island, the sand was kind of wavy near the shore, and my mom kept telling me, "Don't step in it, it's a sinkhole, it could be a sinkhole," and I was like, whoa, I'm not gonna step there. We decided to leave the boat by the water, and me and my dad, my dad told us, let's go to the woods, let's go ask that house, the top of the house we saw in the woods, if they have any gas to fill up our boat. When we got closer to the woods, there were 2 deer, and their eyes were like bright blinking red. Their eyes were like just constantly blinking, like we were being, it was really weird. And in the dream I kind of just went past it, phased it, and we just kept going through the woods. In the dream it felt like it was a really short walk, but there was this boulder to the right, like this big huge boulder, and to the left there was like this murky small little waterfall. And the further you got into the woods, it got like really kind of swamp like. The mist was very thick, and right in the middle, a little bit further ahead, there was this really old, paneled wooden porch step, like, house. They had this porch and the broken wooden railing and the chipped paint on the steps, and they had like the wicker door that like with the mesh screening, and it was really dark. The paint on the house though was like a yellowed white, like it was really old, like it's been there for a long time, and the porch light was off. And as soon as my dad said, "I don't think anyone's home," the porch light flicked on and started flickering, and when I was looking at the light I could see like bugs flying around it, and you know how an old movie screen, like it was that weird, like, I don't know how to really describe this. Well, looking at it looked like an old movie screen to me through my eyes of like watching the light and the bugs flying around the light, and it got dead silent. And I'm like, I feel kind of weirded out, I kind of want to go back to the boat. For some reason, I glanced up and I looked further, kind of could see further back into the woods, and there was this old broken down factory with broken windows, and it looked just abandoned for years and years, and it was really quiet. And then my dad's phone rang, and he answered it, and you could hear people being torn apart and people being stabbed and screaming for help. When I turned around to run back to the boat, there was a man standing there, and half his face was like see-through, like it was gone, it was just gone, and the other half looked like it was deteriorating away, and he had like this broken, effed up machete sword, and when he raised it, he was gonna come down and cut my head off, but like right before he cut my head off, I had a flashback of everything that I saw leading up to that point. Like, the balloons in the water, I could see what they were actually. Like, under the water, they were pieces of limbs of people that were cut apart, and, you know, the fish were eating it to get rid of the evidence. So the bobbing balloons had like strings with like limbs attached, and that was the most effed up part, but not really. Then the part that kind of bugged me was the deer, and I saw, like, had a flashback in my dream of what the deer actually were. The deer were standing there in the woods, and their eyes were blinking red, right? So, you know, it showed me what actually happened. The back of their heads were ripped out, and there were cameras shoved to the back of their heads, and the red light through their eyes was the recording, you know, blinky red light, so they knew we were coming all along. I remember, like, exact every detail to the death point of that, and I woke up right after the part where I saw the deer were actually, you know, cameras in the back of their head. If you have an idea of what this means, I'd kind of like to know below, because for like 5 years I've been kind of stuck on this dream and what it all means. So this will be my video for today, is me telling you my scary ass dream, which I still have not gotten over. I have no idea if I died in the dream or if I got killed or if we escaped. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video, Hologram Family and YouTubians, and I hope to hear from you soon. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because I make videos, or I attempt to make videos once a week, and they're usually just like, whatever, there's no specific video I do. Sometimes it'll be nightmares, sometimes it'll be, you know, clothes, sometimes it'll be like an update on my life, sometimes it'll be art, I never know. But it's always fun to make videos for me. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. I always like to hear people's ideas, and it gives me ideas to expand my channel. I should wrap it up before I go on some more about nonsense. So yes, please subscribe if you like my videos, and don't forget to like and feedback, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope my nightmare does not give you nightmares, because it was much more scarier in my head than it probably is me telling you it. But I must leave now. Bye!